How are you all doing? You might hear some whirring in the background in a minute. What are you doing, Jane?
I'm trying to print off.
How's that going for you, Jane?
Slowly.
Would that be because somebody around here turned off the wrong plug?
It could be.
Would that have been me, by any chance? You know, if we were going to point the finger of blame anywhere, would that be quite firmly in my direction? Might have been.
One of us and it wasn't me.
One of us and it wasn't me. Oh no, I'd take that. I'll take that. Good. Right. So, welcome to Natasha Makes. What am I making today? I often ask the question, what, Jane? What am I making today? So at the weekend, we went to the local game fair. Now, 6 of us went. I don't know if you've been to a game fair recently. They're great days out, really lovely days out. But my gosh, with a family of 6, the cost of food is ridiculous. So we decided to take a picnic. It's the first picnicky type day of the year. So this was a fabulous plan until I realised that all my picnic blankets are in Cornwall.
Oh dear.
So today's show, I'm rectifying that, and I am now going to do my picnic blanket again because it's an absolute winner. It folds up and it's lightweight, so the kids can just carry it.
Lovely.
And then it folds out. It's got a waterproof backing base so that if you're on the beach, it's fine. If you're on slightly wet ground, it doesn't matter. So also they play out in the back garden so that we can have picnics in the afternoon when they get back from school or whatever it is. Or you can do fleece or whatever for the backing instead. If you want it more as a play mat, you want it softer, cuddlier, then it's entirely up to you. If you don't want to put a wadding in it. Oh, now, Jane, I know what I meant to ask you. Is that just the brushed cotton, or did you put a wadding in?
Some H640 in it.
Some H640 in there as well.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot on today's show for you. We've got some incredible deals. We've got brand new fabrics. You don't have to duck, Jane. It's all high up. You're all good. We've got all sorts of goodies for you on the show, as well as a first look at tomorrow's Half Meet Heavens. So let's see who's with us today, shall we? Let's turn my volume down so I don't scare myself listening to myself. And let's have a little, create a story. No, I just want to say hello to everybody. We have got Claire's here, Jan's here, Sharon's here, Gabriel's here, Auntie Lizzie. I'd be game for that. Very good. Morning all. Brenda's here. Hello, Brenda. Pat's here. Good morning, everybody. Oh, who's got a bad back? Michelle. Oh, no. But hubby brought up the TV so I can watch you. Oh, he's a keeper. That's good. That's very good. I hope your back gets better. We hate a bad background here. We are not fans. Morning, Joy. Claire's fixed her dishwasher. Do you want to come and fix my tumble dryer? Because it does not wish to play ball at all. You don't realise, you know, how much we use these things. It's all right at the moment because it's warm, so it can go outside. But, you know, yeah. So we are making today, let me show you, because we are going to make this. Oh, there go my pins on the floor. So this is quite a big one, and it's got ripstop on the back of it, so it's lightweight as well, which is great. And this is it. This is the thing. And so you've got a flap with a handle. Going to be honest, I normally put. So I gave this to Jane. I said, could you just quickly whack the binding and everything on? And bless her. She's popped the handle on the other way. It doesn't really matter. I normally pop the handle on that side, but it really doesn't matter. It just affects which side we put all the Velcro on. Or maybe I do put it that way. Oh, who knows? Anyway, let's have a look at this. This is what we're making today. So the flap means that you can roll it up like that. These are some of the Lewis and Irene fabrics. Now this just takes, hang on, 1, 2, 5 long quarters and 1 metre of plain. However, we've done some very generous bundles for you so that you can then bind it as well, if you'd like to. You can get it out of 3.5 meters if you wish, but you need, if you don't want to do the flap, then you just need 5 long quarters. If you want to do the flap, then you need that extra 10-inch square. But we have done you 6.5 meters so that you've got fabric then left over to do your binding, to do your handles and everything else. If you don't want to make a webbing handle, then that is all good and there for you to do. So I'm going to keep this sort of, I'm going to drape it in a minute, because meanwhile, let me show you all the other things. This is a big show today. We've got a lot on the show for you to choose from, and the deals on them are pretty cool. So let's just take a little look. Greetings from my day 6 COVID bed. Oh, Jan, that's no fun. Anne says, morning, everyone. I'll catch up later, hopefully. I'll get to watch live next week. That's all right. Nikki's not got any work. That's brilliant. Joe's here. Morning. Right, now then. Don't expire. Session. What to look at first? Well, tell you what, as we've already mentioned, this came in Monday night. And it's really beautiful. We thought to start off with that it was a panel, but it's actually not. It is not a panel. I'm going to pop that on there and there, and then I can move that out the way in a 1. There we go. And then I can show you this. So, if you would like to make this quilt, or if you just want to make a playmat, then we've sort of 1/2 metre heavened it, sort of. So we've done you plains to go with these. So you've got your zebras, you've got your tigers, and you've got your crocodiles, and then you've got a coordinating plain, and that is what you are paying for. So you are paying for all of those. And what we are giving you, which is just craziness, is 1 metre. Now, Jane didn't take a full metre. Is 1 metre of this. So yours will be bigger than the one on the wall. So you can either use this, like Jane has, as a quilt by itself, or you can have it as the backing and use your other fabrics, these ones, for the front. So you pay for that and then you get 1 metre of fabric for free. I mean, you can't really say fairer than that. So if you have a little person in your life, this is 2 projects if you want it to be. And it's really rather gorgeous. So like I say, Jane didn't take a full metre. She'd already cut it thinking it was a panel and then realised it wasn't. It was an actual backing fabric. So she took what she thought was going to be a panel. So that's 24 inches up there, and you're getting 40 inches. So you're getting nearly double that amount. But just as a little play mat. It's pretty lovely, isn't it? So that is super duper deal number 1. They're just so fabulous. If you are expecting a grandchild, if you have someone who is expecting a grandchild, or maybe you already have one in your life and you'd like to make something, maybe you're going to start making for Christmas gifts, who knows? But these fabrics are really rather gorgeous. They don't have to be quilts. They could be bags, they could be changing mats, they could be anything. But there they are for you. That is one ridiculous deal coming right up. Now, here's the thing, right? If you want to just back it like Jane has, I have got brand new in from Robert Kaufman, incredibly gorgeous brushed cotton. Who knew Kaufman did this? Who knew? Who knew? But they do. They really do. So I've got spearmint, I've got pink, and then I've got, I don't know what colour they called this actually. Marine. It's got a bit of the spearmint in there actually. So we've got these. Jane took a metre of that. So her playmat was literally just bagged and turned through. That was it, with the beautiful brush cotton on the back. So again, really, really simple and easy. She put some H640 on the back of the panel. Fix that. Right sides together with the brush cotton, turn through, done. Ta-da! Fabulous little playmat. In minutes, no binding, no anything else. So if you'd like to get your hands on these, they are at a pretty ridiculous introductory price. We've taken 20% off that introductory price, which is pretty phenomenal. See if you like them. They're bringing out a new collection, and at some point in the next few months, I might get some more. But for now, this is all that we have. And like I say, they are on an introductory price. Get them, see how much you love them. They're really rather lovely, and they are by Robert Kaufman. So you know you're getting that Kaufman quality. And any of you that have had our Kaufman fabrics know that that is second to none. Now, let's have a look at today's bundles. So we've got two different types of bundle for you. In all the bundles this morning, you are going to get your ripstop and your pattern for free. You are not paying for that. That is your discount on there. That's the minimum discount that we've got on these for you today. So let's have a look. So these bundles are the most cost effective for the simple reason that they are 56-inch fabrics as opposed to 44. So you've got 3.5 meters and you can do that. This is a cotton lawn, so a slightly lighter weight fabric, but just as durable. And what we haven't used in these kits, we've only got 6 each of these kits. What we haven't used in these kits is up cut to order in case you want to dress make with it, because they are really beautiful dressmaking fabrics. So there's that option too. And then you have got 1.5 meters of sunshine. So you can do your sashing in between in this. So this would be in that lovely sunshine yellow, and then there's enough to bind it in the yellow as well. Okay, and then you've got your navy ripstop fabric for that. Now, the only thing really that you would need to add then, and you might not even want to, but if you want to put an interfacing, if you want to put a wadding in, we've put actually a deal on the Insulbright, and this was for a couple of reasons. If you go to the beach and the sand is super, super, super hot, actually what the Insulbright will do is reflect the heat back down into the sand, so your mat doesn't get hot, which is just so clever. And you can always use it then if you want to wrap it, then it will also keep things cool or keep things warm, depending on whether you want them kept warm or kept cool. So Insulbright is a really cost-effective way to get just an additional bonus to your waterproof back picnic blanket. And also it's very, very, very easy to quilt with because there's no floof in it. It's very non-floofy. So if you're quilting for the first time, it's a really, really lovely one to give it a go. We've put 1.5 meters pre-cut pieces up for you with a little discount in case you want to use that for that. Or if you just want to use it because you're making table mats, pot mitts, maybe you're making tea cozies, whatever it is, or table runners, Insulbright is just really great to have in your stash. So this is bundle number 1. I think Gemma called this flowers. I think. And you're getting that and that for free, which is rather fabulous. There's a lot I want to do with these fabrics. They're so, so pretty. They feel really lovely. Izzy was cutting them yesterday and she's like, oh, they just feel so nice. I'm like, I know, that's because it's cotton lawn. So that is bundle number 1. Now again, that's for free. Now this has got Hawaiian with it, so you've got 1.5 meters of Hawaiian, and then you've got these lovely paisleys. So 2 different paisleys and then a ditzy, which just pulls all the colours there together. And again, I absolutely love this one. It's colourful, it's bright, it's happy, it's really, really lovely. And that will be your sashing in between. So just a slightly different look. Rather than having the white, you will have that Hawaiian in between, and that Hawaiian can then also bind it as well, so it will finish that off. An absolute treat. So that is our other bundle. Now, let's move on to brand new Lewis and Irene. Brand new. And here you have got 1 meter of plain, because we haven't allocated that for binding, for the simple reason that you've got so much extra fabric than you need. So maybe you might want to do some cutlery rolls for your picnic, or maybe you want to bind it, do your handle in it. So you won't need the additional things like fabric for binding, or any kind of webbing for the handle. You won't necessarily need that for this one. Okay, so you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 half meters here. And then you've got 1 meter of white. You've also got your ripstop. You do have your ripstop. Again, that for free. So pattern and ripstop for free. I mean, how often do you get your backing fabric in there for free? But here it is. Now, if you wanted to do this, if you wanted to make sort of a smaller one, a meter size one or something like that, we do have some pre-cut meter pieces of the ripstop. And we've also got it in a blue camo as well. Pop that there. So you can buy this individually, but equally, they make great ground sheets. We've also got the camo one, and I can say this is very, very durable. That's the one that I have fixed more horses. Gemma said, so is our stock on that correct, or have you had any? Like, well, if you had seen, I had through the winter, you know, it just didn't stop raining. I had an ex-racehorse here with me who was learning to be a horse, and he kept trashing his rug. So on a weekly basis, like, right, let's bring Chester's rug in and let's patch it up again. Ripstop, bond and repair. That's it. Does a great job. Also, if you want, we've bought, I know this was the most popular out of all of the William Morris water resistant fabric, so I've bought another roll of this one. So this could be the underside of your picnic blanket as well. Be great to use that as well. So maybe you want to do a William Morris type one, or whatever it is that you fancy doing. I did buy some more of that one. Or if we're talking of using a fleece for the base instead. How many of you saw this on your Friday deal? I mean, this is beautiful. This is so lovely. I found Emily wrapped up in this in the warehouse the other day. It's like, what are you doing? Can you get off my stock, please? But Mummy, it's so beautiful. So maybe you just want to do the underside of your play mat or something like that in a really beautiful, beautiful fleece. In which case, we've got it here. That's the other side of it. You might just want to pop a little binding on there, and that's your blanket. Like, that could be the thing too. But that is really rather gorgeous. I kept forgetting to show you that. It's been in for a little while and we had it as a Friday deal, so some of you have already had it, but I kept forgetting to tell you. Or if you want just a plain fleece, or maybe you just want this for a pet bed. Trouble with fleece, isn't it? Everything sticks to it. I've got black and I've got navy, and again, these have been on special deals as well. So if you fancy those, then they're all good as well. Right. So, back to where we were. You have got, and this is the one that I've made mine out of. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There we go. So that'll give you an idea. Let me move my coffee out of the way, because that would be a disaster. So we've got that. That's what it looks like. So next bundle. So we've got this in 3 different colourways. So the next colourway up is dark blue. Just look at these, they're gorgeous, really gorgeous fabrics. So you've got cheetahs in there. It's sort of what would happen if the Jungle Book met William Morris. That's how I kind of look at these. And then you've got almost like hundreds and thousands there. And then you've got this gorgeous floral here. And then a lovely geometric. You've got a couple of really lovely geometrics actually, with the birds making up the geometry of it. It's very, very, very pretty. And then you've got these. So it might be that you just use 3.5 meters and then use these 0.5 meters to make a bag or something to coordinate with it. You could do that too. But these have all got, we put white with all of these. We ummed and ahed and we did put white in between because they are just going to make all of these pop. So that is the next bundle. I did get quite carried away with the bundles, by the way. So we've got 5 different bundles to choose from. Not all Lewis and Irene, but these are all from the brand new collection. This is from the Bahia. So we've got more greens and pinks in this one. Look at him. Rather fabulous. I love green and pink together, do you? But it sort of flows. And then you end up with your little ditzy on the end there. So Jane and I took a long time trying to work out which ones to put where, in which bundle. Because we wanted, you know, Jane's an avid quilter, isn't she? She's like, but we need to have all the different varieties of size and colour and tone. Like, righty-ho, Jane. And so that's how these bundles have been worked out for you. So you might just be quilting. You might just be quilting with them, and that's absolutely okay too. Now, I initially did the waterproof back picnic blanket with big Cafe designs, and it absolutely flew. Because sometimes you want that large project for it. But then I thought, well, what else do we have that's large that is going to look fabulous? Each one framed, and that is the Tula Pink. And I haven't really made many things with this new Tula, so I was kind of keen. I'm going to demo in one of these. I was really keen because otherwise this is going to have been gone and I'm not going to have made anything out of it. And I really love the dinosaurs. But imagine being in Dorset on the Jurassic Coast, having your picnic on your dinosaur picnic blanket. Yes. Yes, yes. So you've got your pterodactyl in there and the winglet. You've got your trifecta. That's Tree Rex, gift wrapped. And then these are your Northern Lights. The Northern Lights is really beautiful and I think has been massively underrated until you get to see it like that. How gorgeous is that? So, this is, we've got blush and we've got, is it mint? Anyway, we've got 2 different colourways. This is the blush. Look at him. Freddie and I were talking about this fabric last night in the car because we were talking about what we were going to make for teacher gifts for the end of year. And we're talking about which fabrics. And I said, what about some dinosaur fabrics, Freddie? And he's like, oh, yes. So that's one bundle of dinosaur fabrics. And then the other one, and this is the colourway that I am going to demo in today. And actually, I'm really excited to see these, see how these are going to just look all beautifully framed. So you've got your Wing It, you've got your Northern Lights, you've got your Trifecta, you have got your Tree Rex, and then there you've got your gift wrapped. So yeah, exciting times. There is a mega discount on these ones. You might just be getting these for the fabrics, you might not want to. And again, you've got your backing, you've got your pattern for free. So it's win-win, but there's a little bit more of a discount on this one. And you've got your metre of white for the sashing. So it's all win-win here today. We like a bit of that. So let's have a look then at what we're going to do with these fabrics, shall we? And first things first, your Stripology ruler is your friend in cutting these quickly, easily, efficiently, effectively. And then you end up with, I would cut a 10-inch strip and then subcut. So you end up with 4 of each. And then I put them in piles. And then what I do is, so that's the initial order. So I put them in all the piles in order, and then I take the top one from this and take it to the bottom. And then on this one, I take the top 2 and put it to the bottom. Top 3, put them to the bottom. And what that gives you then is, bear with me, just one moment. In doing that, that means that you've got your fabrics organised so that they're going to go on that diagonal. And it's that easy then to do. Okay. Let's just put that over there. So you need to cut your strips and then cut them back to the same length as your squares. Okay. And then you've organised them. So I've got 4 piles of 5. And then we start to sew them together. I do them one line at a time, okay? And so for the first one, let's start with this one. For the first one, I won't sew that. I will put that to one side. That's my end piece. Then for the one that's going to go next to it, I know then that for the rest of them on that pile, I'm going to sew a strip down the right hand side. Okay, so I can start to then do these in some kind of order. In fact, what I might just do is do these on the top ones, and then we can put the top strip in place. So put that there, put that there, and then we can start to sew down these. We'll do this pile and we'll do this pile, but I tend to do them one at a time. So one strip, and you can get into this is the sort of meditative sewing, and you could maybe watch a little something on TV whilst you sew, but it's easy sewing. And the nice thing about it is because you're going to have the sashing strips in between, you don't have to have everything marrying up absolutely or anything like that. I mean, it helps if it does. It will give that professional finish, but it's not the end of the world if it doesn't. So if this is your first beginner one, then you can do that. You also don't have to bind it. You can also bag this through if you would rather do that. That's also an option to you if you don't want to bind. And then this one. So this is more, rather than this being any kind of difficult sewing, if you want them to be in an order, it's just really about keeping them ordered. Really, that's it. And then when you come to decide which order you want to do everything in, you can just order them bit by bit. So that, I realise now that made absolutely no sense. Bear with me. So what we will do is press and then flip. You can press either side. I know that a lot of you would like to press to the dark side. Sometimes, especially if I'm using white, and I've done this before with quilts, I know a lot of people will press so that you don't see any of the seam underneath. That's entirely up to you. Sometimes I quite like it because it's almost like an echo. You get just that little bit. For me, it's like, oh, it's a little bit of extra framing in there. Now, not everyone wants that, but for me, I kind of like it. So then those two I know are going to go together. And so then you can, I mean, you can absolutely batch do these so that you know where each of these is going to sit. And you can just have them all lined. There isn't a white strip on either end. Okay, so now I'll just work my way through. I will sew these two together. And then I will sew these two together. And so on and so forth. So it's just a matter of getting that organisation in place. And I got on a proper flow with this morning. So I tend to do them in pairs and then work out, work it up from there. Just knock that edge over. So always setting the seam. So that's going to be my edge. I love these, they're so much fun. So then I'm going to sew my pterodactyl onto the next one. So you're going to have 5 in a row. And just, you can pin it if you want, or just align those edges. It's up to you. But like I say, a nice easy one, and these bundles have lots of fabric left over. So you're basically buying into a fabric collection. With big discounts. So it's just handy to have. I need to give my machine a proper good clean out. I keep thinking that after every show, and then I get started doing the prep for the next show, and I'm like, didn't do it. So then you can just sew your remaining pieces together. And it's going to really help if you don't come unthreaded. That's the other thing. Must have come unthreaded when my there we go. Let's just quickly do that again. So where are your best picnicking places? Would you rather picnic by the coast? Would you rather picnic in the woods, fields, hillside, downland, moorland, by a river? Where is your favourite place to picnic? I love a picnic. Do you know, as a child, can't remember what, I just have a memory of being little and finishing school, because we never, like my dad was always working, but I just remember this one day, I can't remember why it was, Mum and Dad packed up a picnic after school, and we went down, if you know Sussex at all, overlooking Cookmere, there's a big hill, it's called Hindover, it's Hindover to locals, and just, I remember us going for a picnic there after school, and we thought that was just the most incredible thing, because that was really, really exciting. We didn't do things like that, and yeah, I still remember it was so special. So picnics are just a really lovely way to just enjoy time with your family, aren't they? And also, and have the food that everyone will actually eat. Hooray! So this is going to be my second row down. So now this one is going to be on this end over here. Let me move that out of the way. This one will then be next. So that's going to come up to there. So we're starting to get these coming through like this. And so you can start to see how these are going to come together. I'm really pleased where I went with the white here. Now, the reason that I've done these in this particular order is that I was very keen to have this little chap then for my flap. And so then that carries on that diagonal. So that was why I sort of organised everything so that I can get to that point. So we'll just sew these together as we have everything else. So that needs one there. Have I got enough? Did I prep enough? We'll soon find out. Did I? There we go. And if you think you might get confused with your order, just lay it out. And then you can just keep on coming back to it later. So I'm going to move that out of the way. first and then my second one. And that's binding for that. So this is, just fold that up out of the way. So let's start then with sewing these together. And again, we're just looking for that organisation, making sure that we get the order right. This is not difficult sewing at all. 1/4 inch seams, we're good to go. I tended to chain piece 1 row at a time, so I didn't get all my rows mixed up. It was just more than my little brain could stand this morning. But it's just such an excuse to get beautiful, colourful, vibrant fabrics out. And also, you know, if you've got, like, we've got quite a large family now because we're a blended family. So if you've got kids that can actually, they can carry these. And honestly, the amount of use that these have had, the 2 that I've got down in Cornwall, I lent one to the school for a while so that they could have the kids, because they taught lots of lessons outside when the kids were at school in Cornwall, because they did lots of outdoor sort of forest schooly type things. So they had them because they were easy to carry down, fold up, wrap up, and then just take down by the river or wherever it was that they were having their lessons. Whee! It's like fabulous bunting. I try and keep them in order. But once you've done one line, it's just going to really help if you keep one lane out and you work up from there. That's all I can really recommend with these. But like I say, we have put massive discounts on these for you. We don't have a moving date yet, but we know that we will have to move at some time. So I'm in that sort of situation whereby we know we've got to move. When we move, I don't want to have lots and lots and lots of stock here. But so at the moment, yeah, you are winning in terms of the deals and everything else that we have for you. Yeah, it is priced to sell for you. So make the most of it, because once we're happily settled again, we're going to have to actually charge proper prices for things again. So do make the most of our situation. It's good that some people can benefit. For those of you that don't know, the warehouse that we're in needs renovating. So at some point we are going to have to move. We are just negotiating the new place. And apparently, because I am my own boss, I'm used to just making decisions and then it happens. Apparently the rest of the world does not work like that. This is a revelation to me. And yeah, things take a little bit longer in the outside world than I really like. And when I'm not in control of it, it has been very amusing for everyone to watch, because they're like, Who knew? Who knew? It's that thing, isn't it, where businesses need to double check with this person, that person. So that is our situation, probably far more than any of you actually really wanted to know. But it probably makes a little bit of sense now as to, we've done quite a lot of warehouse clearance, and I know a lot of you are still enjoying those bolt ends, making the most of those bolt ends. And they, you know, the bolt ends are up there, they have 25% off. So they, oh, well, actually some of them are up to 40% off. So they are worth a good old look. Don't know if my mic's picking it up, but Ruben is snoring in his bed. He's got a proper snore on today. Got a Mabel. I don't know where Mabel is. He's going to ask Jane if Mabel is with her. She got out yesterday and did a little Houdini act, which was not ideal. I think she's almost coming into season. It's the only time that she's disobedient in any way is when Mabel is in season. It's those hormones. She's a slave to them. Right, so we've nearly got 2 rows together. So, I mean, you've only got 2 more to do. So we're nearly halfway in terms of putting this together. So it is something that can come together nice and quickly. It does frame those fabrics really beautifully. Really beautifully. And like I say, with the ripstop, it just means that you've got a nice waterproof underside. Now, if maybe this is something that you want to do quickly, or maybe this is one of your first projects, you can H640 the back of this and then go for it from there. You don't have to use Insole Bright, it's up to you, or just your normal wadding, whatever you like, really. Right, so we now have our top 2 lines, and yep, we're going all on the diagonal. This is all good. Then you're going to cut some width of fabric strips, and you're going to need 2 because annoyingly it doesn't quite do. You see, we need just a little bit extra. So grab yourself 2. You can do this diagonally. I do just a straight one because all my seams are straight. So I just think that any seam that you see is just going to sit in with that. So I'm just going to sew 1/4 of an inch down there. And you can do a few of those at once if you wish. And then open it up, press it. I press it open. Again, sometimes pressing is just one of those preferences, personal preferences. Just getting the crease out of where my fabric was folded on the bolt. So now we're going to sew the strip in between. I don't tend to trim this back. I just have it as it is and then do it like that. So place it right sides together. So there's my seam, so that's going to be right sides there. I'm going to pick up this piece and then sew that all the way down. You can pin these, by the way, if you wish. What I might just do in a minute is pin up the made one. so you can see just how big it is. You can pin this, by the way. As ever, I'm always aware of time. There we go. And then what I tend to do is line up, take that away. Line up with that edge, line up along that seam, then trim, and then press, and then I sew this piece that I've cut the excess off. That will then go onto my next full width of strip, and so on and so forth. So now I'm going to press this. I'm going to press this in the same way. So this will be pressed, and then knock that edge out there. So set the seam, knock it away, set the seam, knock it away. And then in exactly the same way, you will sew this one onto that. Now, I can do that, but that is just straight edge sewing. Let's look at how we're going to get that flap on. So, get our flap on. He's going to sit in there, just like that. This will have another thing across the top, another sash piece across the top, and then here what we're going to have is those two sewn together, and then I'll trim that back so that across the top you'll have your other sashed piece across there, and then all I would do is right sides together so that in line with these, so that what you then have is this step with that fabric running through. Okay, now let's look at, and again this is all straight line sewing, so you know we don't need to keep doing that because you know how to do all of that. The handles, if you would like to make your own handles so that you don't have to have webbing. Yeah, you've guessed it, it's our favourite. So I think in the instructions it recommends 16 inches of webbing, but here we go. If you've got a little bit of waist shaper left over from a project, then you can use that. And the thing with waist shaper is that it doesn't even have to be a continuous bit. You can sort of put it together. So let's get that at the 16-inch line. Now, because this is going to be sewn into the binding, or if you're bagging it out into that, then you don't actually need to, you don't have to need to finish off the ends nicely. I tend to cut my fabric slightly larger than my waist shaper, but I'm going to cut it the same length. So this was what I had left over from my extra piece there. So shiny side up. That's your adhesive side, and then center your fabric over that. Apply some steam. That's your easiest way with Waist Shaper. It works, it goes together much better if you can add a little bit of steam on there. And then you can flip it over. Now you can either then press those sides in, just to give it a nice crisp edge. And this is the beautiful thing about your Waist Shaper, is that you've got those little folds in there all done for you. You can clip this, pin this if you like, but then you fold it in half. So there's edges over so you get no raw edges. And this is just the quickest way to whip up a handle. Waist Shaper is made for dressmaking, so you would then put your pleats or whatever in there, and that will be the waistband of your dress. But us bag makers and other sort of hobby sewists have stolen it for our own personal use, and then we're just going to top stitch. I top stitch down the double folded edge. You see what I mean by that? That's the double folded edge. First. Now, of course, any fabrics that we haven't put in today's kits are available cut to order. So if you are a dressmaker, just thinking, you know, a lot of you are dressmaking because of the Great British Sewing Bee. If you are dressmaking, or maybe just because actually you like to sew dresses and dressmake, Great British Sewing Bee or no. But it's like when there's Wimbledon on, everyone suddenly remembers that they're like tennis, don't they? But yeah, everything is available cut to order by the ½ metre. We cut in continuous lengths unless it says pre-cut, in which case it's not. Got a tooth there, and that will be my handle. Now that will sit in the binding. Now, let's have a little look. Now you can decide which way round you want to fold this, but when it comes to folding up, now Jane's put the handle on this way round, so we're going to fold in. So you want to fold it in line, it's much easier done on the ground, by the way. And you can fold it sort of all the way in or just part of the way in. It absolutely depends how you want to do it. And then fold up. In half. Up again. And then that folds over there. And what that then gives you is your placement then. What's up into there? Your placement for where you want that Velcro to be. So you'd pop your Velcro hook and loop, and I use one that's got sticky on it, but you'd sticky it on there and then sew around it, and then however you're going to fold it, you'd then put your other run of Velcro on there. If this is going on the upper side, I would put your softer one, so the loop, not the hook, and put your hook on that bit there. Or if you want to put your handle on the other side and have it so your ripstop is the one that faces out, then you can do that. It's entirely up to you which way around you want to do it. But yeah, in terms of folding, fold it, you might want to fold it again up like that, so it really is then very, very neat and compact. And then your handle sits on top there, and away you go. It's all carried and you're good to go, and it looks fabulous too. So that is how that's going to work. But you can just see that's going to be much easier to carry, and away you go. And if you want to, you can just run another little stitch down there in your seam, and that will just hold your handle, give your handle just a little bit more zhuzh. You'll see what I mean when you do it. If it's there, that's fine, but actually if you just run a stitch in that seam there, then it just makes that handle more secure. And there you go. So that is the picnic blanket. It's just such a useful one to have, honestly. If you're anyone that likes to al fresco anything, that's the one to just keep in the back of your car, or just under your stairs to whip out whenever you need it. So that's today's show. Next week, Jane is doing us something beautiful with butterflies. It's called Butterfly Kisses. That is her quilt for next week. I am going to do, what am I going to do? Ooh. Any requests? And make it easy, because the last time I said any requests, you lot went and said, a messenger bag, please. And that was an epic big show. So, yeah, let me check that you are all okay on the Book O Faces. And see if there are any questions. Oh, yeah. The heavy-duty hook and loop tape is, it's hook and loop, not hook and look, is in the warehouse clearance. Bundled up and thrown in the boot. Yes, Jan. This. Not anything else. Not anything else. Kirsty, morning. Sorry I'm late. Notification didn't come up and I was caught up with something at work. That's okay. The fabrics are beautiful and fresh looking, aren't they, Lynn? So, how is Ruben the Nutless? He's on massive tranquilizers to try and keep him quiet. But you wouldn't know. Yeah, you wouldn't know, if I'm being honest. Hi, Lynn from Aussie Land. Hello. Debbie says, oh, love you in dresses, Natasha. Thank you. It's just too warm. It is just too warm. It's not often. Ironing board cover. Oh, what, for the Insel Bright? Perfect for that. Perfect for an ironing board cover. Or is that what you want me to make next week? Yes. Trouble is, everyone's is a different shape. There we go. Right, everybody. I will see you this time next week. What, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? Next week. Jane is doing her quilt on the Wednesday because she's off Monday, Tuesday. So it'll be me Monday and Tuesday, Jane on Wednesday. Check out your Friday. Oh, Half Me to Heavens. No one shouted. Half Me to Heavens. Let's have a look. I've got some gorgeous ones for you this week. Oh my goodness. Oh, so let's start off with the Daisy Extravaganza. This is from Philip Jacobs. I've popped this one with, I think it's bamboo. Meow bamboo, meow bamboo. I can't remember. Or is it silver mink? I don't know, but it picked out those colours in the petals. It just did something. We put it with crimson before. I've got a couple of it left with crimson. But I thought, actually, this is quite a grown-up look. Now, Dutch Heritage. I love some Dutch Heritage. Lots of you went for the Dutch Heritage with the Kaufman yesterday. I've popped that with Azalea. The detailing here is exquisite. Dutch Heritage, again, you could go for both of these and they would work exquisitely together. And this is Rhapsody, and I've popped that with Sangria. If you haven't tried any of the Dutch Heritage fabrics, do take a look at them. They don't photograph well in terms of true colour, but my goodness, when you get them home, they are absolutely gorgeous. This is a fun one. This is from Dashwood with your little snails. And this one is going with Jade. In fact, I might give you a little... Shall I do some of these close up? Shall I? Because I feel sometimes you lose a little bit of the detail otherwise. So we've got our snails in there. And we've got our Jade. And that's a treat. This is your Dutch heritage. Can you see the incredible detail in there? I think it's beautiful. I absolutely love it. I will be making round handle bags out of this for sure. Look at that. And again, we've picked out that azalea to go there. Now, whilst we're on a close-up, I've managed to get you some more Kaufman. And I've popped that. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous together? Now, while I'm at it, let me show you the 7-berry. This is a beautiful one. I'm not sure that if this is a Kaufman 4 7-berry. I'm not sure. I popped that with black. I thought that was really grown up. I like that. And then also 7-berry are your roses, and that is with crimson. They're rather beautiful, aren't they? But the one that was Freddie's absolute favourite, and he's like, Mummy, everybody will buy this. Like, well, let's hope so, Freds. Let's hope so. He said, well, they should. Is this one. It's from Robert Kaufman again. This is Stargazer. Digitally printed, so but you know, we should really charge a premium for digitally printed fabrics, but it's in there in your half metre heaven price. So all of those that you've seen today will be $9.99 for those 2 half meters. So a metre of fabric for $9.99, half metre of designer, half metre for plain. But have a look, you know, there are other ones up there on the website already. Do go and take a look at those and grab a bit of what you fancy. So yeah, oh God, I can't believe I nearly forgot that. Sorry, everybody. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? I will see you Monday. Check out your Friday deals as well, because we've got some incredible deals for Friday as well, and a few last chances to have, including the Octagon table runner. We've managed to make 2 more quilts of those. They will go live on Friday in the Friday deals, which means that any Waratah, the big Waratah bouquets that we had, those fabrics will be bolt ended and they will go live on Friday as well. Part of your Friday deals, always check out, if you subscribe to our newsletter, do check out those newsletters, because that's where you're going to get the first dibs on those deals. And then head to the website, click on deals, and they will all come up. You can just order it so that you get newest first, but sometimes just flip it and do oldest first and see what else is in there. Because there might be the odd 1 or 2 of things that you're like, oh, did not know that was there. Take care. Have a lovely rest of the week, and I will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.